She's here. Hi friends, welcome to today's video. Guess what just arrived in the mail? I had to do a video on this, the newest product launch from Natasha Denona, something that's been in the works for probably years. People have been asking for her to come out with more complexion-based products, and now she's given us the Hy Glam Foundation. I am so ready for this. I was excited when I saw sneak peeks that she posted that something was in the works, and then the swatches, just everything about it just seems so great. So I got my hands on it. I'm turning on the camera. You gotta sit down for this one. Let's put this on and see if it lives up to the hype. The skin prep is just going to be my basic skincare routine today. Pretty simple and straightforward. I'm going to skip out on primer entirely. This is a serum-based foundation, so it's got a lot of skincare additives to it. So I really kept my routine pretty simple. Just a basic moisturizer, and we're gonna skip everything else just to see how this performs with the rest of the products that go on top and how it wears throughout the rest of the day. Now, I know you've seen this already. In case you haven't, it is $52, comes in 52 options, which let's just go ahead and give her a round of applause because 52 colors to start a product launch is wonderful. There is a lot of options to choose from. There's also a lot of undertones. That's what I loved about her Hy Glam concealer. She's got yellow tones, she's got neutral tones, peachy tones, rosy neutrals. She's got all kinds of different options, even yellow neutrals, even just a straight neutral color. If you wanted a neutral light medium, then you'd be neutral number 8, for example. Just kind of throwing some numbers out there. If you pull this up on the Ulta app and you go to view all options, you can see all the undertones. There is even an option for you to find your own shade match. So the descriptions of this foundation, it's a medium buildable, blurring, and self-setting radiant serum foundation that hydrates and balances oil for 18 hours of creaseless wear. Developed with Korean tech and Japanese amino acid pigments, this anti-aging hybrid boosts collagen production and antioxidant defense. The key ingredients, jasmine mother cells, which I've never really heard of that. It says it boosts antioxidant defense, brighten and fight hyperpigmentation. White tea silver needle, blurs imperfection, calms redness, soothes, repairs, and strengthens the skin. Grape pomace, which boosts collagen, hydrates, reduces wrinkle, detoxifies, improves skin. Hypoallergenic, non-comedogenic, lasts up to 18 hours, suitable for sensitive skin, anti-aging, hydrating, blurring, self-setting. Say less, right? Like it seems like it's everything you would want in a foundation. So I ordered the shade N4, and I'm hoping I did myself a pretty decent match. So let's go ahead and put this on. The packaging though is everything. It's a glass frosted bottle with the ND on here. It says Natasha Denona. Very luxe and very beautiful. Of course, she's not gonna put her name on anything that is not great. Even the packaging matters. And you can tell when you purchase products from her brand that it's not just the formula, but it's also the packaging. I feel personally, it's everything that comes together. She covers everything A to Z. The formulas are A+, the ingredients, the performance of them, and then the packaging. So it's like every base is covered. And I love that. I love that she pays attention to those details, and the cap has that soft kind of matte grip to it with that kind of soft rose gold vibe. I just love everything about it. And that is shade N4, and I think it's gonna be okay. I will say though that this did look a little bit lighter in the Ulta app photos, which is why I chose N4. And I'm hoping that I'll still be able to pull this off in the winter months when the tan that I've got going on kind of tones down. This is a tan from sun exposure, not self-tanner. So let's see. I'm going to do the beauty sponge method, which is what I like to use. We'll do one side and we'll do the left, and then I will show you and compare how this is going to look. And right off the bat, I feel like the match is pretty good. And it is covering, I have some little blemishes and spots. I did dermaplaning recently, and I feel like that just kind of made my skin a little bit more irritated. It's okay. We'll see how well this covers. I think this is gonna be a great test at the coverage of this foundation. Here is the side with the foundation applied. Then here is the side with just my bare skin. So this is the before and the after. What do you think? I honestly think it looks really pretty on the skin. It is very hydrating, and it has kind of like a dewy finish. It's not radiant or shimmery. If that's something that you're concerned with, just know that there aren't any shimmer particles in this formula. It is a hydrating base, and it's going to give you more of a skin-like look and feel. It has a little bit of a kind of wet feel. I don't want to say sticky, but I personally would definitely set this with some powder just because I do have an oily T-zone. So I would definitely pay attention to that in the T-zone area using a translucent setting powder or even a pressed powder. But as far as everything else, I probably do want to set this. I'm just going to leave it alone and see, because it is a self-setting. So maybe with some time, it'll kind of calm down because I just applied it. But that is really beautiful. I feel like it covered everything. You can still see some of the texture from those small little breakouts that I'm starting to get on my cheeks. But as far as the look of the redness and the sort of marks, it definitely covered those and toned those down a little bit. And it looks really nice. And I gotta say, I actually really do like this. I have seen a little bit of buzz here and there on social media about this because it's a new drop. It's something we've been anticipating from her for such a long time. So of course, everyone's gonna go wild on social media and post about it. Like, look at what's coming out. And people seem to really enjoy it. But I wanted to see for myself, buying it with my own money, not it being sent to me in PR. I wanted to try it for myself and give you my honest opinion and my thoughts. And it is a really pretty foundation. So if you have dry skin, I think you will love this. If you have combination leaning to the dry, I think you'll also like this. Normal skin, you can definitely pull this off. Now, if you have oily skin, I would say maybe put a mattifying or oil controlling primer underneath first, paying attention to the zones where you produce the most oil, making sure that that is prepped with your skin prep routine. Put this on and then set this with powder, and also use a setting spray for longevity, and I think you will be okay. Now, you would have to try it to see how that works out if you have very oily skin, but just knowing that you can do some kind of prep steps to go with it, it could work for you. I actually like this. And I don't know if I'm just seeing things, but as I've been talking, I'm not really sort of cutting bits and pieces. I'm not editing this part out, but I just feel like it's kind of looking like it's setting down, right? Or is it just me? Does it still look the same amount of dewiness as freshly applied? I guess the only way that we'll find out is actually going in with some more on this side and making it all match. So let's do one pump. And the texture seems to have a nice kind of flow to it. It's not super thick, but it's also not runny like water. There is a little bit of a rundown to it, you can see there, but it's not thick. It's not too thin. I feel like it's just right. So let's do this side and use that full pump, and we'll compare freshly applied versus it sitting on the skin for just a couple of minutes. I've probably been talking for less than 10 minutes at this point, so we'll get to see how this is going to be. Let's go around the headband. And the thing with the white headband is that you get makeup on it. I'm gonna have to throw this into the wash when I get done. Get this hair out of the way. Okay, so this is the side that we just freshly applied. This is the side that's been sitting on the skin for about 10 minutes or so. And I still see that kind of dewiness, but I feel like it's just slightly more minimal on this side versus this one where I just applied it, right? Do you see a difference? I'm actually happy with this, the way this looks. I am so glad that she finally came out with a Hy Glam foundation. I love the Hy Glam concealer. I wear the shade P1 in that, and I love the coverage, the blend, how it looks under the eyes. It's always been one of my go-tos, one that I can rely on, and I feel like this foundation is definitely a contender to be one of my go-tos for every day. So now what I'm gonna do is do the rest of my makeup as I normally would. Nothing really special, out of the ordinary. I'm gonna stick to products that I've already used and no workout with my skincare and my other makeup products. And then I'll show you the end result once it's all complete. This is my completed look for today. I went ahead and did the rest of my makeup off camera. I'm gonna show you the products here in a moment, what I use, but this is where we're at. This is the look for today. Tell me your thoughts. I gotta say, she looks beautiful on the skin, gave the skin this beautiful kind of dewiness, radiance without the shimmer, the glow without it being too oily, too slippery, too greasy looking. It played well with everything else that I put on top of it, and it set down really nicely. It looks really polished and beautiful, gave me coverage, but looks blurred at the same time. Let me talk you through the rest of the products. For my concealer, I went in with the Hy Glam Concealer, also from Natasha Denona in the shade P1. I did use some translucent powder. I used the L'Oreal Blurfection powder, the light pink, under the eyes with a powder puff to set the concealer. I did take the same powder from L'Oreal in the translucent light with a brush to set the entire face, just because I personally want to ensure that this is gonna stay on all day. That's just my personal preference, so I went in with something lightweight, yet it sets the makeup, it blurs, and it keeps everything in place. This is a phenomenal drugstore brand loose powder. If you haven't tried it, you definitely should. I love this, so I use those pretty much every single day. For my blush and bronzer, I use the Haus Labs bronzer in the shade Bronzed Umber, which is the light tone. Looks like that. I use that also a little bit under the eyes as well for eyeshadow. The blush is from Kosas. This is the Blush is Life formula in the shade called Blissed. This is a mini from a previous holiday set. I love this color. It is the perfect everyday, just slightly peachy with a hint of pink to it, and that's giving me a little bit of a radiant glow as well. Then for the eyes, I took the Kylie Cosmetics. This is the Wet Shimmer Quad, and I mixed a couple of these shades. And I took this kind of taupey shade here all over the lid. And then I did a mixture of these two pinky tones. This one has a little bit more purple, but kind of mixed these two shades to kind of go over the center and kind of blend that out into this kind of taupey shade. And I don't have any other additional shadows on my upper lid area. Took the bronzer under the eyes. Tight lined with the Kosas. This is the Soul Gazer Intensifying Gel Liner in the shade Allure. Mascara is the Dibs Duo Ended Mascara with a brown primer and black mascara. I love this. It is beautiful. It gives me such a beautiful look to the lashes. You can use the primer on its own, layer the mascara. Beautiful. Love that so much. And then the lip combo for today is the Morphe lip liner in the shade called Girl Talk, topped with the Morphe Soft Matte lipstick in the shade Ballet. Do you see that combo? Can't tell me nothing today. This combination is just chef's kiss. I like how this is just a little bit deeper. This is a very pale kind of nude. The two together, 10 out of 10. I did review these lip liners and lipsticks already. If you haven't seen it, you're gonna want to. And that, my friends, is the completed look for today. Those were all the products that I used in conjunction with the Natasha Denona Hy Glam Foundation. I am really thrilled with it. I'm going to continue playing around with this mascara. I wanted to do a review sharing my honest opinion as someone who purchases the product themselves, and just kind of show you what it looks like, my authentic reactions to the products, my hopes and desires for this product launch. And I've got to say, it is living to the expectation that I was thinking and what I wanted it to be. So I'm really happy about that. If you've tried this, please share your thoughts and your feedback in the comment section. Again, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for spending some of your day here with me. I hope you have a fabulous day. Take care, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.